Hello, and welcome to the 2020 Virtual Annual Meeting for BHL. I'm so sorry that we couldn't have convened in the City of Light as we had planned, but I do want to thank the team that had that meeting under control and were working so hard on it from the museum in Paris. Gildas Ilian, Laurent Benichou, Clément Houry, and Chloe Bescon. It would have been an exciting time with many opportunities for interesting talks and visits around the museum and other iconic places in Paris. I also want to thank Martin Kalfatovic and Grace Costantino, who were working very hard on the same meeting from this side of the pond, and let's hope that that better times are coming. I want to give a very brief state of the BHL, and the topics that I plan on reviewing include the strategic plan, the annual technology plan, and next steps as we move forward for implementation of the strategic plan and other topics that we may want to discuss. We've been very busy. The state of the BHL in 2019 was occupied very strongly with shaping the 2020 to 2025 strategic plan. The technical team has been implementing many new features and working hard to complete all of the tasks that are still waiting for them. We were also, in reviewing the strategic plan, seeking transformational opportunities. So be careful what you wish for. Clearly, transformation appeared, and it appeared in a way that none of us really expected. The COVID virus has impacted the entire world, and you can see here just a few things. The virus itself and the spread of the virus are from the World Health Organization site. I found this wonderful picture of someone washing their hands, which is of course something we hear about constantly and something that I would have thought most of us would have learned as children, but we need to be reminded a lot. And of course, many of us are now wearing masks. Another transformational opportunity that happened is that Colleen Funkhouser joined us as the new BHL program manager. She joined on March 31st, 2020, and she just dove right in, and she's been working hard to help plan this virtual meeting and make sure that it's successful, among many other things. And we're just so happy to have her. So going back to the current world situation, this is BHL's natural ecosystem. These are our strengths. BHL is virtual, BHL is global, our partners collaborate and are interconnected. BHL is resilient. It makes critical information available thanks to all of our partners' efforts to digitize for open access. BHL is open access. BHL is open science. Social distancing, collaborating virtually, opening up science. Again, BHL has it covered. In this time, we have the opportunity to leverage BHL's strengths. The virtualness and interconnectivity that we already have allows us to demonstrate our resiliency. It allows us to demonstrate this resiliency by maintaining our ability to provide information and continue to curate the information that we've provided. In general, academics often work alone. They often work together globally. So in some ways, this can be relatively normal, although of course, academics are most certainly missing their face-to-face connections and their labs if they're working in the lab. I want to thank the Secretariat for stepping up very quickly to provide opportunities and training for many work-at-home options that can be leveraged during this time. Just a few things, just a few examples of some of the opportunities include transcription, loading Flickr images and tagging Flickr images, and various other types of metadata enhancement. And we can all do this based on our own materials and support very directly our institutions. One of the things we asked all of you to do for the annual meeting was to answer a couple of questions that we're calling tour of the room. These questions, the question was really, why is it that BHL is valuable to you? Why does it continue to be valuable to you? And also questions about what are things that we can do to improve BHL? The basic answer is the reason for the value of BHL is that it supports science. BHL provides open access material, it delivers content, it's sharing content, curating content, linking content. Within our own institutions, we're expanding our local and global impact by providing our content to BHL and participating in many BHL activities. It's a huge networking opportunity for us to work with our colleagues all around the globe. And also, there's an opportunity for benchmarking that may not be available in other ways in our various activities. BHL has also served as a repository for materials that are important to all of our institutions. Some institutions are saying that BHL is their repository for their digital material. We also asked, as I mentioned before, what things could be improved, and several things came up. More in copyright material is a common theme. Also more money for digitization activities and expanding that digitization money to more partners. So we have a number of things that we can look at to improve BHL, but in general, the whole idea is that we support science, and by doing so, BHL is valuable to all of the institutions that we currently work in and support ourselves. Okay, back to basics. We're going to talk now about the strategic plan, and I will go through some of the changes that we've made, and in general just give you the basics for the strategic plan. So a little bit about the past, the high-level goals in the past. We had 5 goals: relevant content, tools and services, user engagement, membership and partnerships, and mission-enabling activities. There's nothing surprising at this higher level, and all of these things were deemed still important in our discussions at Cornell when we began the process of revising our strategic plan. So at the higher level, nothing has changed significantly. We did, however, move some things around and change the focus a little bit on some of our goals, and I'll talk about that a little bit more, but right now I just want to go through the goals. Relevant content, goal 1, we want to grow the BHL into the most comprehensive, reliable, reputable repository of data-rich biodiversity literature and other original materials to support a response to global challenges. Goal 2 is tools and services. We want to create services and tools that facilitate discovery of BHL content to improve research efficiency for all potential users. Goal 3, user engagement. Increase global awareness about the BHL and biodiversity issues to inform existing users and attract new user communities. Goal 4, partnerships and alliances. Grow BHL consortial partnerships and alliances to foster cross-institutional collaboration. Goal 5 is mission enabling. We want to increase BHL's financial strength, the effective administrative support, and organizational excellence to ensure BHL's continued success. Some of the differences you may see occurred between Goal 4 and 5. We removed the membership aspect of Goal 4 and added it to Goal 5 because Goal 5 is really about the health of BHL, and it's much more internally focused. And the things that we're doing there are focused very specifically on BHL. Goal 4 is more about our external focus and gathering partnerships and making sure that BHL is part of the Biodiversity Knowledge Network. So to summarize some of the differences that I see in this plan, the new plan is more active. We want to grow, increase, and create. We're also moving the lens to data. So we're more finely focused on more detailed information in BHL and making sure that we can connect that data to other networks. We're embedding BHL in the Biodiversity Knowledge Network. We are actually already in that network, but we're often hidden. We're taken for granted, and we want to be sure that BHL is a very active member of that network. We've specifically incorporated broader global challenges, as have many of our biodiversity partners. These were gleaned from the United Nations document on global challenges. And the plan has become more outcomes-based. Better data, better collaboration, and better science. So where did that come from? Better data, better collaboration, and better science. This was the theme of the multi-biodiversity organization meeting last year, Biodiversity Next, 2019, which was held in Leiden, the Netherlands. And this is the direction we're headed. We want more content for open access use and reuse. We want the development of new and improved tools. We need appropriate funding and governance. Increased partner participation is needed. And we have to have better integration with the biodiversity community to be sure that we're meeting the needs of our main constituents. In general, we need active policies to support open access, open data, and open science. But now I'm going to move on to the technical plan, which is an annual plan, just to give you a little sense of what's been going on in that area. Joel will talk much more deeply about this. In general, the basic technical infrastructure remains the same. And it is remaining the same because it's stable, it's responsive, and it's reliable. I'm sure Joel will address that in more detail. We mapped the annual technical plan to the new strategic plan to give us a sense of how much of what we're doing addresses the issues that we've identified as truly important. And it's clear that we've addressed, in the work that has just been done in the last year, all of this is underway. All of the goals are addressed. We're working on system documentation, which speaks to user engagement, partnerships and alliances, and our internally focused mission-enabling activities. We're automating and integrating PennSoft Publishers content, which is born digital content. We've been working on ways to do this for a while. Highly relevant content. This addresses the content goal and our partnership goal. Scientific names are so important to the way BHL works, and members of the BHL team are involved in many activities and discussions around providing a truly global names architecture. This addresses content goals, tools and services, and of course, partnerships and alliances. We're also working on DOIs, digital object identifiers, and trying to drill down a little bit into maybe identifying smaller units where we can add a digital object identifier. This addresses tools and services, and it also addresses our mission critical activities. We're developing, using IIIF to develop a better way to view our images, addressing tools and services and partnerships and alliances. And we're also looking at ways to get our content into much more easily and in smaller chunks into other data sources, such as the Biodiversity Literature Review and on into GBIF. There's also been a review of the index data recommendations for our technical infrastructure, addressing content goals, tools and services, and of course, partnerships and alliances. So the next steps in our strategic plan process is to move into implementation. Implementation will proceed in a very similar manner to the way the strategic plan proceeded. Each high-level goal will have a small team formed to review and expand implementation strategies. During the discussions about the strategic plan, we developed a very large list of potential implementation strategies that we have kept, and we've organized according to the goals that they seem to work with. And that will be the starting point for working on some of this implementation. The Secretariat and Executive Committee members plan to be very active in these groups. And Colleen has already been working on implementation templates for each goal and a timeline for the plan as we move forward. And of course, guidance will be provided as we work on the implementation strategies. So here's a hint of things to come. This is a draft of the timeline for our implementation plans. You can see that it begins very soon and will be completed at the end of September. And this is something that Colleen's done in the last couple of weeks, and I really appreciate that she's able to just dive in with very little background and figure out the ways she can help us proceed on task. Finally, I have a few topics that I wanted to address during this talk. The first one is we want to identify members who are interested in serving on the executive committee. There will be vacancies beginning in 2021, and of course, moving forward, there'll be vacancies as well. And we'd like everybody to have an opportunity, all the members who are interested in participating in this way, to talk with us, to ask us questions on the executive committee about what we do and just what it's like to be part of the executive committee and help drive the way the BHL moves forward. You're welcome to contact us individually or ask to discuss something with us on an executive call. And it doesn't matter if you're interested right now or if you might be interested later, or if when you hear what it's like to be on the executive committee, you don't want to be involved. That's fine too. We just want to give everybody an opportunity to think about this and to let us know if they have any interest at all. While we were working on the strategic plan, we had some open executive calls, which we felt were very valuable, and we'd like to continue this. We'll be scheduling at least one executive call a month so that anyone can join with if they have topics they want to discuss, or if they just want to hear the topics we're discussing as we discuss them rather than just read the minutes. We'll be getting back to you about this, so I'm sure we'll be scheduling these calls fairly soon. We've also realized, particularly over the past couple of months, that we've missed the monthly member calls. We had dropped to quarterly, and this doesn't seem to have been enough to keep us connected. It seems like, particularly at this time, it would be very valuable to connect with our colleagues. And so we would like to reinstate the monthly member calls. We will, of course, plan on looking at time zone options. In the past, we've had separate calls for the furthest away time zones. And we may continue that. So we still need to figure out how we want to do this, but we do think that monthly member calls will be valuable. So I want to thank you for listening to me and for being a member of the BHL. I'm really looking forward to hearing your questions and your comments on the May calls that are coming up later this month. I want to thank Martin Kalfatovic of the Secretariat, Jane Smith and David Eagledon of the Executive Committee for helping me form all my thoughts for this talk and for the last couple of years of thinking about the state of the BHL. And of course, the Secretariat for all the work they do to keep us going. And next year, I hope that we will all meet in Paris and enjoy the City of Light. Thank you.